The New York Giants are on the road for Christmas Eve, coming off a nail-biter that snapped their 4-game winless streak.
Heineke throws, incomplete, broken up by Darnay Holmes. And the Giants are on their way to getting this one over Washington.
They are in Minnesota taking on the comeback Kings, because when the chips are down, they're like the guy on the commercial, pretty clutch.
It is good! And the Minnesota Vikings have completed the greatest comeback in the history of the National Football League. The Vikings are NFC North champions!
Forget the miracle on 34th Street. Vikings are cool hanging on 33rd. And forget Santa Claus. Minnesota has Santa cousins.
Look center. Yes! It is T.J. Hawkinson for the 2! And we're tied at 36!
Giants defense up against a quarterback coming off back-to-back 400-plus yard passing games. Captain Kirk going for 460 versus the Colts. 4 touchdowns, came up big late when it mattered, which he's actually done more than some realize. 7 fourth-quarter comebacks this season.
Kirk over the middle, caught! Yes! At the 40-yard line! Adam Thielen just came up cold-blooded, and so did Kirk Cousins.
New York's secondary will be tested on all fronts. They have to try and keep Justin Jefferson from having more good times, 123 yards in Week 15, averages 115 yards per game, most in the NFL.
Oh, you had Hawkinson.
Instead, he's got Jefferson. Touchdown, Vikings!
Gritty.
Then the G-men have to try and cover KJ Osborne. He went for over 150 yards in their comeback win.
Osborne has been a superstar today, fighting for those extra yardage.
Adam Thielen, he scored in 3 of their last 4.
Throws to the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! Vikings!
TJ Hawkinson at tight end, quiet versus the Colts, but 9 targets. Cousins throws to him a lot. Why would he back off this week? The Giants have allowed a rating over 113 to tight ends in 2022.
Lofting end zone, it is caught for the touchdown!
New York has shined versus running backs as pass catchers, though, holding them to an 82.2 rate.
Comes near side of power in the flat. Oh, well done on the tackle. He might lose a yard.
That's relevant because Dalvin Cook was huge out of the backfield for the Vikings last week, was good for 95 yards and a score.
To the left, 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Dalvin Cook, yes, yes!
Cook the runner could also be an issue for the Giants, maybe a huge issue. 95 yards, 17 runs last week, 5.6 a carry.
Look out for Dalvin Cook!
Uh-oh.
Turn on the burners, young man!
The Giants versus running backs, 5.4 a run allowed. Let Brian Robinson go for 7.4 on 12 tries last week.
Big run into the secondary, still going. Robinson, 15 hard yards and a first down.
Then there's the Kayvon Thibodeau factor. He can blow shut my mouth up. I could hear the kid who drafted him from my house during the game last week. 12 tackles, 3 TFLs, a sack, a forced fumble, fumble recovery, house call. Defensive beast mode.
Thibodeau got there, got the ball out, scooped it and scored! Touchdown Giants! Kayvon Thibodeau!
Giants defense middle of the pack in points per game allowed, facing a Vikings offense that's top 10 at scoring. It's close to a strength versus strength, closer than New York's offense versus Minnesota's D, which is a weakness versus weakness situation on the scoreboard at least. The trick for the Giants, get a lead, lean on the run game. Daniel Jones didn't do much with his 10 runs last week, but Saquon Barkley found some space. 87 yards, 4.8 a carry, a touchdown. Got out of the funk he was in.
Barkley, another big right, another B-button spin move. Saquon Barkley alive in this fourth quarter.
The problem with the Giants' preferred formula, Minnesota is the 3rd hardest team on running backs, holding the position to 3.8 a run.
And he is devoured. The Vikings defense comes through once again in the red zone.
They don't handle QBs great though, 5.7 a carry to them along the ground, and they don't typically play QB's arms well either. But they did handle Matt Ryan at least.
Oh, incomplete. What a play.
Duke Shelley coming downhill.
The G-men aren't a prolific passing outfit. DJ only 160 yards last week, no touchdowns, no interceptions. They threw 32 times, and Saquon is typically someone he throws to plenty.
Jones Jones with the completion of Barkley.
The Vikings have allowed a 99.2 rating to running backs as pass catchers. They've struggled with that position more than any other.
They dump it down to Taylor.
They got room.
And let Taylor go to work.
Skull. Everyone turned the TV off last week and said, I guess Minnesota isn't for real. You know it's true. Giants were hearing how they were just a fluke during their 4-game winless streak. Both have chips on their shoulders. Have a jolly football season, everyone. Add to this preview in the comments section.